this is one hard place to come in and play. Chuck, not only does Chuck Tank do a good job, but I'd like to know what Chuck's record is here the last 10 years, because they don't lose many here, and the losses that they have had here, I'll bet you are single-digit losses, really, really close basketball games. I know I have not had an easy game in this gymnasium since Ronald Reagan was president, and that's been a long time ago. So we expect this is a good non-conference basketball game heading into the tournament. We've secured our conference championship, so we're really looking forward to the chance to play against a quality team like Dodgeville on their home court.
And looking forward to that state tournament. What does Cuba City have to do to make a march towards Madison?
Well, I think that one of the real points that you have to watch out with Cuba City, not having the size, means that we have to be able to shoot the ball well and shoot the ball well every night. We should win that first game against Belleville, but then you match up with either Mineral Point or Darlington, the third time in your conference. Both very good coaches in Mike Hopkins and Dan Burrison. I'm worried about that game, to be very honest with you. And then the regional finals looks like it should be Wisconsin Heights or Parkview. Both of them good basketball teams. It should be really competitive. But no matter who wins that regional, staring you in the face out there in the regional or in the sectional finals will be La Crosse Aquinas. Now, you've seen them, Nick, and you know that they're one of the best basketball teams in the state, any division, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So my whole thing is get me there and then take your chances in that one game, realizing that anything could happen in one game. We could play them 10 times, they could beat us 9, but who knows in that one game. So that's what's staring everybody in our regional in the face is La Crosse Aquinas, and they've got a tremendous basketball team.
Well, good luck tonight, Coach, and the rest of the way.
Thank you very much, Nick.
And on the other side of the basketball court, it is the hosting Dodgeville Dodgers. They come in 10 wins, 8 losses. It has been a roller coaster 2006-2007 campaign, but certainly this is a program that strides on their rich tradition.
Oh, absolutely. Both of these programs have a great tradition in Dodgeville. Just always great teams through the year. They have a great youth program. Every tournament you're at, you'll see a Dodgeville team playing at. They just do a great job here.
And certainly a key for the Dodgers will be their 2 6'5" players in the starting 5.
Yeah, Phillips and Rundog are their leading scorers. But tonight against Cuba City, I think Pratt and Vandenholden will need to come up big for them.
And for more on Dodgeville, here's head coach Chuck Tank.
I'm here with Coach Chuck Tank of Dodgeville, now in his 17th year with the Dodgers, his 28th overall. Coach, 10-8 on the year so far. Talk about the season thus far.
Well, it's been up and down for us. We got off to a 6-0 start, and we've had a lot of close games. We've had 4 buzzer beaters, I guess, and we kind of hit a tough stretch in the middle of the year, and recently we've won 3 out of 4. But so it's been an up and down year for us.
One of the players on your team that has been a standout this year is senior Nick Phillips. Talk about what he brings to your ball club, both as a leader and as a scorer.
Well, first of all, Nick's a great person. He's a great kid, and he does whatever it takes for us to succeed as a team. He puts the team in front of himself, and he's been a type of kid who goes out and I think really does a great job for us. He guards the other team's best player, and he can score for us. He can get to the basket. He plays bigger than he is. He's only about 6'1" or so, but yeah, he can dunk pretty easily and get up in the air, and we're real happy with Nick.
You have Cuba City coming in tonight. It used to be conference rivals, a big-time rivalry. Just talk a little bit about the rivalry and about what it means to Dodgeville and Cuba City.
Well, I think with Cuba City Dodgeville, I think there's a lot of respect there. I certainly know in my years here in Dodgeville that we've had some just great games with Cuba over the years, and Coach Jerry Pettigrew, is basketball in Wisconsin, and he's what it's all about. And we know that his teams are going to be well prepared, and they play hard, but they also play very clean basketball, and we have a lot of respect for them, and I feel like they do for us, and we've had some great games over the years.
Coming in tonight, what do you expect to see out of the Cubans?
Well, I expect them to play a very up-tempo, very fast-paced game. They've got great shooters. You know, they play a lot of 1-3-1 zone, and so it depends on how we handle that, I think, to see if we're going to be successful or not.
Well, we're looking forward to tonight, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
So coming up next, it's the Cuba City Cubans against the Dodgeville Dodgers. Starting lineups and the opening tip-off after this on the Mercury Marine High School Basketball Game of the Week on FSN North. Welcome back to Dodgeville for the Mercury Marine High School Basketball Game of the Week on FSN North. Couple of rivals about to square off as the Dodgeville Dodgers entertain the Cuba City Cubans. Taking a look at the starting lineup, we begin with the visiting Cubans, who come in 17 wins and a loss overall, 13-0 in conference play. That in the Swamp. The Cubans will go with Mike Bondra along with Tyler Timmerman up front. Those two will flank Ben Pickle in the middle. Cody Camps and the freshman Evan Richard in the backcourt. As for the Dodgeville Dodgers in the Southwest Wisconsin Conference, 10 wins, 8 losses overall, 4-5 in conference play. The Dodgers have Brian Runhog along with Eric Van Dijnhoven up front, flanking Matt Haig with Nick Phillips and Holden Pratt in the backcourt. Last time these two teams got together was back on February 14th, 2006. That game took place from Cuba City, won by the Cubans 62-56, but certainly the Cubans know that this is not an easy gym to come in and try to escape with a victory.
Oh, no, Coach Petty, you mentioned that on the open about how few losses Dodgeville has in this gym, and you can just see the crowd. They love their Dodgers here in Dodgeville.
You mentioned Dodgeville comes in a roller coaster 2006-2007 campaign. That's because they started off this season 6-0, would go on and lose 7 of the next 8, including 4 consecutive. They have since been able to turn things around. They've won 3 of their last 4, but had their 3-game winning streak snapped in the last outing on Friday against Richland Center, 43-42. One of the 4 losses this team has suffered at the buzzer. And for the Cuba City Cubans, well, not much can be said except for the fact they've had great success, 17-1. Their lone blemish coming against Monroe. Then on December 26th, 71-56, despite Timmerman scoring 27 points.
Both of these teams losing at the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association American Family Classic. You mentioned Dodgeville at the buzzer. I hate to bring it up for the Dodgeville fans, but on a 75-foot shot by Nick Allen from Barneveld.
Runhog controlling the opening tip for the Dodgers. Defensive pressure by Tyler Zimmerman. Flipping the ball right back to Nick Phillips. Working around the perimeter again for the Cubans. Dodgeville is expecting them to come out in a 1-3-1 zone. Or at least show us that type of a zone at some point throughout this ball game. Nice feed inside, and the basket for Holden Pratt.
There's what I talked about on the open about getting their big guys involved early. You know, Dodgeville's a team that'll shoot a lot of threes and push the ball, but I think tonight they need to look for those guys down low.
2-0 Dodgers. Timmerman driving and flipping. 3-ball on the way. Air ball to the hands of Camp, the putback, and Mike Bondra draws the foul.
Nice board there by Bondra. Good pump fake. Get some of those big guys for Dodgeville in trouble.
Bondra goes to the free throw line. The first foul against Pratt. Team foul number 1. Cubans a very good free throw shooting squad. As you take a look at the veteran Cuba City Cuban coach. Second free throw good for Bondra, who goes 2 for 2. This game's tied at 2 with 55 seconds gone by in the opening quarter. Flip the ball right back to Van Dijnhoven with the right hand, the bounce on in.
It's a nifty little up and under move there by Van Dijnhoven. You know, one thing I've noticed, Cuba City's in this man, and they're not able to sag off those shooters and away from the ball on the weak side. They're really hugging them tight, and I think Dodgeville's taking advantage of that a little bit early here.
As for the Dodgers going with a 2-3 zone early on, shot short for Richard. Put back short, ball popped free, and rebound control by Van Dijnhoven.
Another solid rebound there by Vondra. Just couldn't get the ball to fall on that one.
Runhall going back into the wing for Phillips. Phillips last season, all-conference honorable mention of the Southwest Wisconsin Conference. Right back, Van Dijnhoven. Nice feed to Phillips. Weak side, can't get the bounce, and the rebound controlled by the Cubans.
Obviously would have liked that layup there, but Coach Tank has to be pleased that they've gotten 3 wide open layups more or less in their first 3 possessions.
Three ball for Pickle. Rebound Van Dijnhoven. He draws the contact and the foul from behind as you take a look. Now the head coach of the Cuba City Cubans, the veteran Jerry Pettigrew, comes in 36th season with the Cubans, 639 victories, 164 defeats, but he has had a 40-year career of coaching basketball in Wisconsin, 44 years overall with 4 years spent in the land of Lincoln, 702 victories, 185 defeats. As Phillips misfired with the right hand.
Not a bad percentage. I'm not the greatest at math, but it's pretty good.
The Wisconsin's all-time winningest high school basketball coach. In fact, Tim Anderson of Auburndale is a distant second, about 120 wins behind. Ball knocked away after the shot attempt down low by Vondra, having a tough time in the paint.
Vondra really working that offensive glass hard.
And Timmerman off the 3-ball miss, a foul against the Dodgers down low, having a tough time boxing out.
It's Vondra again getting the box out and getting pushed from behind.
Head coach of the Dodgeville Dodgers, Chuck Tank, 17th season, 263 victories, 121 defeats. He has coached for 28 years and has a career record of 333 and 141. And loose ball foul. They went against Phillips, his first team foul number 2. Richard going right back to Timmerman. It's 13-footer bouncing on in.
Nice little pull up there for Timmerman. You know, one thing you'll notice about the Cubans, Timmerman and Richard pretty much have the green light, and they're going to shoot a lot probably. You know, as Coach Pettigrew said in the open, he believes shooters should shoot, and even if they're missing a few, you know, it always takes a shooter more shots to get back in your rhythm. And, you know, he really has trust in those guys, and obviously it's helped them get to that 17-1 record so far this year.
And Pettigrew added that he thought Timmerman is one of the best that he has coached in 36 years here at Cuba City. That kind of a season he had last year. A first-team all-conference selection, 17 points, 5 rebounds per game.
Yeah, we have him ranked as one of the top 50 seniors right now in WisHoops.net, and outstanding guard.
Inbound going back. Phillip, or I should say, Richard's direction. They're certainly high on him, a freshman. And Richard comes in at 6'2", but they feel he could grow to about 6'4", 6'5" before all is said and done.
Yeah, a couple of older brothers around that height.
Another offensive rebound, this time by Pickle.
It's really hard to find a box out in the zone, and Cuba City is definitely making Dodgeville learn about that the hard way right now.
Timmerman with the left hand, had some hang time, a rebound tipped into the hands of Matt Haig. His brother Mike, his twin brother, on the bench for the Dodgers. 3.5 to play here in the first quarter. Game tied at 4. The 3-ball splashing on in for Brian Runhall.
Excellent curler by Runhall, nailed the shot. No hesitation. Coach Tank wants them to get their hands up a little bit, get more active in that 2-3 zone.
7-4 Dodgers. Timmerman, nice ball movement. Go back Richard direction. Camps, great defensive pressure by Holden Prance. Richard ties the game at 7.
Missed his first couple there, he nails it, dead on.
And Evan Richard has been no stranger to scoring 20-plus points this season. One heck of a complimentary player to the play of Tyler Timmerman, who was averaging just under 19 points a game as of a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, you have two players that combined are averaging close to 40 points a game. There's not too many teams in the state that can say that.
Now the Cubans' season high for points in the game is 97. And that back in December. 2:36 left in the first. Inbound. Dodgers right back. Round Hog's direction. Run Hog up top. Also a returner and a first-team All-Conference selection last year. He steps back for three, this time off the mark. And the rebound brought down by Cody Camps.
He had Pratt open in the middle there for a brief second. Didn't see him.
Tyler Timmerman driving. Again, there's that ball movement. Richard finds Timmerman. Richard again for three. Evan Richard back-to-back triples. And the Cubans have a 10-7 advantage with 2 minutes left in the opening quarter.
Against the zone, you really have to work it side to side, and Cuba City did a great job there of working it side to side, making those people in the zone work, and they got an open shot out of it.
Unable to get the bounce was Cody Camps. Kendrick Eggers out there as well for the Dodgeville Dodgers. Shot missed by Vondra. Fight for the rebound, jump ball whistle after Mike Haig, who has just subbed into the Dodger 5, ties up Ben Pickle. Already we've seen Eggers jack up a 3 for Dodgeville. 1:38 left in the opening quarter. Timmerman setting up the offense. Richard on fire. That's 3 consecutive threes for the freshman.
Yeah, after missing his first 2 or 3, he's nailed 3 in a row, and he's been dead on.
Cubans by 6. Eggers going right back up top. A 3 ball that's short for Danny Sullivan, who was subbed to the Dodgeville 5. Timmerman.
There he is again.
Richard can't get the bounce. Rebound knocked out of the hands of Vondra. A takeaway by Kendrick Eggers.
Vondra didn't get that there, but he's really working hard down low in that zone.
Great patience. The shot missed by Holden Pratt. Here comes the takeaway. Timmerman tripped up. He's knocked down. Any Dodger foul.
Nice control there by Tyler Timmerman.
And with 41 seconds left in this opening quarter, it's 13-7 in favor of the Cubans. The foul going against Kendrick Eggers, his first, team foul number 3. Richard back in the corner. Camps will feed it back to Timmerman. Can have a big decision on his mind. Many local D3 teams showing interest. Edgewood, Loris, Clark, and UW Platteville, all within driving distance here from the Dodgeville area, but also from Cuba City.
All fine programs.
Gonna pound it inside. Ball eventually getting to Van Hoven, knocking down his second field goal.
And you can see they're really trying to pound that paint area.
13-9, Cubans. Timmerman can't get the bounce, and that's going to be waved off at the buzzer by Ben Pickle. So after 1 quarter of play, it's the Cuba City Cubans 13 and the Dodgeville Dodgers 9 on FSN North. Back in Dodgeville, a living legend for the Dodgers. Bob Buck, the PA announcer now, but he spent 18 years as the head coach of the Dodger boys basketball program, 12 years as the football coach. We will hear from Bob Buck coming up at halftime, less than 8 minutes away. Hall of Famer in both football and basketball coaching. Bucket for Holden Pratt, his second field goal. He brings the Dodgers back to within 2.
Nice high-low there by the 6'5 duo for Dodgeville.
So far, the story for the Cubans, their outside shooting of freshman Evan Richard. He has 9 points, nailing at 1.3 consecutive threes before his potential 4th consecutive bounce just out.
All from the same spot, too, which is remarkable.
It was that spot that Timmerman was unable to hit on. A putback missed by Bondra. He has had a tough night in the low post.
Hasn't been able to convert, but he sure is working hard down there. He's probably got 4 or 5 offensive rebounds already.
Ball bouncing away from Pratt. And now a takeaway. Richard, a long 2. And the rebound brought down by Holden Pratt. Runhog has the lone Dodger 3. Has it up top against Timmerman. Gets the feed right back. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass. It looked like he was going to try to jack up the 3 ball that was knocked away by Mike Bondra.
It was nice defensive play there by the Cubans.
Gonna say it looked as though Runhog was trying to get the screen from Holden Pratt to take that 3 ball from the wing. 13-11. Cubans on top. Approaching 6:20 left in the first half from Dodgeville. A near capacity crowd on hand for this non-conference matchup. A couple of rivals. Quite the storied history after being former conference foes. Drawing the foul from behind is Mike Bondra. You know, the one thing that really interesting to me about these 2 programs is the longevity of their head coaches. I mean, give or take, every time Dodgeville or Cuba City has had a coach, typically he's been around for at least 15 plus seasons.
Yeah, it's very impressive, and as I mentioned in the open, they're just both great programs, like straight up and down from the little squirts of playing in kindergarten and 1st grade all the way up to the varsity teams. Both of these coaches really do it right and really have a great program in place.
Pratt picking up his 2nd personal foul, team foul 4. Bondra connects on both free throws. He's now 4 for 4 in the game from the charity stripe.
And that's 4 points. He's probably got, like I said, 5 or 6 offensive rebounds. He's drawn 3 fouls. He's definitely doing his work down low.
Put the right hand shot not there for Van Dijnhoven. He has 4 points. Timmerman once again setting up the Cuban offense. Cuba City, as we mentioned, 17-1, having won 11 straight, came in. Predicted first out of 8 in the SWAL, and certainly they have not disappointed with a 13-0 conference mark. That going into their conference finale coming up in a few days against Arlington. Pettigrew, though, veteran head coach of the Cubans, said he was kind of surprised by the 17 wins. But you see the ball put up and in for Brian Brownhog, who now has 5 points. He said he was kind of expecting between 14 and 15 wins. Richard knocks down his 4th 3.
Another triple. You know, most coaches you'll find will be modest, and I think he knew what kind of a special player Evan Richard was, and maybe he is a little bit surprised of the production he's been able to provide for the Cubans, but he's got a very solid program, or very solid ball club this season as well.
The foul going to be whistled against Jamie Tranel, who was subbed into the Cuba City lineup. But can you imagine, we touched base on it back in the 1st quarter, but can you imagine what kind of player Richard will become if he does, in fact, add about 3 or 4 inches to his height?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if he was in that 6'5", 6'6" range, and if he kept his athleticism and his quickness, I mean, sky's the limit. I mean, he could be a very special player by the time he's all done here at Cuba City.
Van Dijnhoven will get 1 more free throw. This to make it a 4-point game. It is 18-14 in favor of the Cubans. 5 points now for Van Dijnhoven. 4:43 left in this first half. Back come the Cubans. Great experience. Only 1 starter loss from last year's team. They finished in 2nd place, a tie with Iowa Grant. Tough hook shot. And Mike Bondra now with 6. That's his first field goal make. Go along with 4 free throw makes.
Nice little hook shot there. Nice little move. Cuba City's really doing a great job attacking that zone.
And Danny Sullivan with the mid-range right side baseline jumper.
Nice move on the comeback by Sullivan.
Once again, a 4-point game as we approach the halfway point of this second quarter. Been a very clean basketball game for the most part. There's a steal by Holden Pratt. Phillips cannot knock it down, but he draws the contact and the foul, which will be just the 8th foul in this first half, and certainly that is something that will not surprise Coach Tank, who addressed it during the pregame. So both teams play clean basketball. First free throw for Phillips, no good. Off the first foul against Cody Camps, and team foul number 4. Phillips, who last year averaged just under 9 points a game, picks up his first point today. Coach Tank saying he plays bigger than he actually is. Phillips coming in at 6'1".
Yeah, he's an outstanding player. He's outstanding with the ball. He can get to a lot of places on the court. He's a good outside shooter.
3-point game. A near block. Vondra looking for the second effort. Rebound tipped around in control as the Cubans will set up that offense. Look out, Richard open again. And the rebound control again by the Cubans. Timmerman going back in the corner.
Just a hectic pace right now. Cuba City hustling for everything.
Pickle. And the rebound control by Phillips.
Pickle's having a rough half. He's got to be 0 for 4, 0 for 5 right now from the outside.
Pratt will flip it on over to Sullivan. Has some nice range to his arsenal. We saw it on his mid-range baseline jumper earlier, but he can even hit 5 or 6 inches consistently beyond that.
Nice move there by Phillips. Again, couldn't get it to fall, though.
Timmerman going back in the corner, Camp's direction. Timmerman looking down low. Cutting across baseline is Pickle. Richard had it knocked away from behind. Ball bouncing around like a pinball and ricochets off Holden Pratt into the Dodger student section. A student section that for the most part is filled to capacity.
Oh, absolutely. Students here are great.
It's a school of 448, a Division II team. Cuba City, a school of 281 in Division III. Camps, bullet pass inside. Vondra can't get the bounce. And the rebound controlled by Sullivan.
Nice cut there by Vonder. Nice pass by Camps. Couldn't get it to go.
Eggers looking inside. Phillips trying to post up, but threw that ball right through the hands of Camps. Back comes Timmerman. His layup is short. And the rebound controlled by Nick Phillips, doing a great job of getting back and rebounding that loose basketball.
Excellent move by there at Timmerman. Just slowing up a little bit, letting the defense go by, but he can't get it to fall. We've seen a lot of missed layups so far.
Sullivan looking down low as Eggers goes inside of Sullivan. Looking for the spoon feed, and the ball knocked out of bounds, intended for Nick Phillips. 1:54 left in the second quarter. 20-17. It's a 3-point advantage for the Cuba City Cubans. And
So,
let's say it looks as though Nick Phillips will have to leave the game.
blood
Oh,
on
he's
his
bleeding,
jersey.
yep. So the Cubans will inbound, still up by 3. They've had a tough time scoring here in this second quarter. They put up 7 second quarter points. Compared to the Dodgers 8. Apparently somebody else is bleeding. Now they're going to leave the game is Cody Camps. Kind of bizarre, huh?
Are you okay?
Have to look and see who the culprit is out there in that basketball court. Shane Morrissey subs into the Cuban 5, and we will have a full timeout. 1:48 left in the first half. A 3-point Cuban advantage. There you see the game situation as we welcome you back to Dodgeville for the final Mercury Marine High School basketball game of the week of the 2006-2007 campaign. A 3-point lead for the Cubans, and as it says atop the scoreboard, go Big D, and they've been saying that a lot over the years with this very strong tradition as we addressed during the pregame.
Some excellent teams coming through here. A few years back, they made it to state. few other state runs in their history.
Trying to get back to that status. It may take a couple of years, but certainly still competing as they have all season long with so many close games. Boy, Pickle in a pickle of a mess, being rejected a couple of times. And the Dodgers take back over offensively with Mike Haig flipping it right back up top to Run Hog.
Van Eindhoven using his length there.
Can't get the bounce on the three, can Haig. And a loose ball foul will go against the Dodgeville Dodgers. And ultimately be team number 5. And the first against Eric Van Eindhoven. Timmerman held to 2 points. Basically, he's been setting that offense up throughout this first half and trying to get others involved. It's been the Richards show. And speaking of the Richards show, it's still Aaron.
Made that look easy. Just drove the baseline. Pretty kiss off the backboard, and 2 more points for the freshman.
He has 14. 45 seconds and counting left in the second quarter. And the Dodgers back down by 5.
Nice pass.
Unable to finish was Van Eindhoven. And the Cubans will slow it up. This is an up-tempo style of basketball the Cubans play, but slowing things down for potentially one final shot here in the first half. We have 20 seconds of counting left.
Going into tournament time, you know, you gotta practice these types of things. It's all about execution when you get to March, and we'll see what kind of play the Cubans will come out with here.
And the playoffs on the horizon, both teams finding out who they will face. Pritchard knocks down his 5th three of the half. He has 17, and that will do it. The shot was short and would not have counted for Brian Runhog. But a big first half for Evan Richard. He has 17 to lead the Cuba City Cubans ahead of the Dodgeville Dodgers 25-17 at the break. Back in Dodgeville, 25-17 in favor of the Cuba City Cubans, as the Dodgeville Dodgers back-to-back cross-country champions being honored before this very loyal Dodger crowd. And in the background making the announcements, the legendary PA announcer and coach, Bob Buck, who I had the opportunity to speak with before this game. Being joined by Bob Buck, who is now the PA announcer here at Dodgeville, but before that spent 18 years as the boys basketball head coach, 12 years as the football coach. In fact, is in the Hall of Fame for both. And Bob, we talked just briefly before we went on the air about your coaching career and some of the highlights. And one thing that certainly stood out was the fact that you coached both football and basketball for 8 years.
Well, it was quite a challenge, especially when I did it in the 60s. We ended football on Friday night, and then we started basketball on Monday. And so that was a big challenge. And most of those guys that played football played basketball too. So it wasn't that hard, but it was a lot easier now when football and basketball, it takes a couple of weeks. So that's when we started there. I got here in 1963. It was a great year. We won the state championship in basketball. Coach Weenie Wilson was one of the finest coaches in the history of the game here. And so we were 26-0 in basketball and 8-0 in football, and our baseball team went to the sectional. So I thought every year was going to be like that, but I was a rude awakening, but it's a great sports town.
Talk about your approach to coaching basketball, because one thing I read on your Basketball Hall of Fame plaque is the fact that it wasn't all about winning.
Well, no, I feel that the guys play hard. Just like Bo Ryan has his team, they have their roles. And if they play hard all the time, no matter whether they have a lot of winning or a lot of losing, they a tremendous effort, and they leave it right on the court. And if they don't, then they have to sit. Because I think it's very important if a team plays hard all the time and looks for each other and they play as a team. There's the letter I in team.
And what's even more impressive is the fact that besides coaching and teaching, also an author. Want me to just start that question? Okay. And besides And besides being a coach and a teacher, the other thing that's very impressive is the fact you've written many basketball-related articles and even wrote a basketball book.
Yes, that was something too. I was asked by Parker Publishing Company way back in 1970 to write a book on basketball, my offense that I've used. It was very similar to the swing that Bo uses in this day and age. It was called the shuffle, and we integrated it with our pressure defense. And so I wrote the book, not thinking that, you know, maybe 5 people might buy it. And I think we sold 10,000 books over in Africa. And I'd like to have those guys because they could jump. But it was very enjoyable, and I've written articles on football too for the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association. I enjoy doing that.
Now, Dodgeville, Cuba City, a big rivalry back in the day, at least when conference foes. Still a big matchup as non-conference opponents, but talk a little bit about this matchup.
Well, it is a great rivalry. Back in the 60s, John Nicholas, who ended up at Eau Claire Memorial doing a great job at Antigo also, was the head coach at Cuba City, and he was a roommate of mine in college in Black Hill State University. So that was quite a coincidence. And then Jerry Pettigrew became a real good friend of mine outside playing each other. He was the best man at my wedding. So we've had a great rivalry. We won most of the games in the 60s. We split in the 70s. They won, well, they started winning pretty good. They beat me 8 in a row, Jerry did. I decided to get out of that. It was getting a little tough. And Coach Tank and Jerry have been great rivals over the last 15, 16 years. So it is a great rivalry. Even if they are in the other conference right now and they only have 1 loss, they're going to be in a tough game tonight, I think.
So for those back at home, what are you doing nowadays?
Well, I'm in fantasy sports. I love the baseball and the football, stuff like this. And then I announce at the game here, and I follow the team. I try to follow the wrestling and the girls basketball and the boys basketball and the fall sports and the spring sports. They asked me how come I don't go south. Well, I'd miss my sports here in Dodgeville. It's a really good community, excellent community, and an excellent sports town.
And from what I understand, you're the best PA announcer around.
Well, I can't compete with the River Valley or the Prairie du Chien, but I have fun doing it. I really do enjoy it, and sometimes I like to kid some of the, most of these in attendance are former students of mine anyway, so it's been fun.
Well, Mr. Buck, certainly a pleasure to get the opportunity to speak with you, and the best of luck tonight.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm certainly glad that Fox North is doing this. Thank you very much.
25-17, Cuba City on top of Dodgeville at the intermission. Earlier tonight, Nicholas Cartos caught up with legendary head coach Jerry Pettigrew, who also doubles as the executive director of the WBCA.
Coach, for those at home that might not be familiar with the WBCA, just talk about a little bit of what your purpose is, what you do, the events you run, and the causes you help.
Well, we're in it for basketball coaches and players. We are the voice for Wisconsin basketball, whether it be high school, grade school, college, you name it. We have over 3,100 coaches that are members of the WBCA. Probably our big events, Nick, would be the All-Star Games, which are held in the summer, and we give 80 boys and 80 girls a chance to play, and really a good venue. It's either at the Kohl Center or it's at the Field House, and this year the girls are going to be at the Alliant Energy Center. So, the proceeds from that goes to the MAC Fund, Midwest Athletes Against Childhood Cancer. And the last 5 years, we've been able to give the MAC Fund over $100,000 a year. And so we've given the MAC Fund over $1.3 million for childhood cancer. We're really proud of that. Another big event, of course, is our Hall of Fame, which we hold in the fall. And it's usually held in Madison at the Madison Marriott. And this year we have over 19 new members going in to the Hall of Fame, and it's a who's who. And then we run the fall clinic, which we bring in big name coaches and what have you. So, and just see every ordinary day running of basketball in the state. We're here for coaches and players and officials and ADs, anybody that loves basketball. That's our purpose.
a few of the topics out there that you probably hear a lot about. One being the number of games teams play. Talk about the WBCA stance on that particular subject.
I don't know, you wouldn't be a basketball coach if you didn't want more games. So, and maybe we want too many, you know what I mean? But as compared to other states, I would like to see us at least go to 21 games. I see nothing wrong with 22. I also am cognizant of the fact of saying, hey, another night. Yeah, I don't think it can be on a school night. I would be in favor of play 2 games in one day. I don't think that this is a real hardship for any of our teams to play 2 games in one day, and that would definitely, would quell that argument of another school night, and and even put it in there. It has to be on the weekend or something like this, So, but I think most of the coaches in the state favor increasing the number of games, and that's something that we're going to continue to work with the WIAA, and hopefully someday it may happen.
Another subject that's talked about a lot is the shot clock. What do you think the chances are that will be a rule that is instituted in Wisconsin high school basketball?
Not in my lifetime. I really, I don't think it would be bad for high school basketball, but you're looking at a cost factor again. You're looking at someone to run the shot clock. You're looking at 2 little clocks above the basket. I have no idea what they run, but they're going to run you money. And the way the budgets are today, especially in the rural and smaller schools, I just don't see it happening. Now, if other states bring it in and it becomes popular, then it may come down here. But right now, I don't see a really large push in Wisconsin for it.
Another big topic. Recently, the WIA has proposed, or not proposed, but came out with an idea of having 5 divisions instead of the 4-division format. What is the WBCA stance on that currently?
Well, I think the WBCA is going to stand on the sidelines on this one. I'll be honest with you. I've been getting a lot of emails from Division 1, Division 2 schools that are against it. Been getting a lot of emails from Division 3 and 4 schools that are for it. And so I think that if we were to take a stand, we would upset half of our membership one way or the other. And I'm kind of saying, hey, let the WIAA and the member schools work this out, you know what I mean, to the best. I know, talking to Deb Hauser, she said, let's get more teams to state than if you have 5 divisions with 4 teams, 8. And I think you do get more teams to state that particular way. One of the sad part would be that you would eliminate 4 Division 1 teams. And being a basketball fan, I like those 8 Division 1 teams at state. And yet, I will say this, that with Deb Hauser and Doug Chickering, I can't think of 2 better people to run basketball in the state of Wisconsin than those 2 people. So whatever they decide, we'll go along with. But personally, my own opinion, I guess that I would favor 4 divisions of 8-8, 8-8.
One last hot button topic, private versus public, urban versus rural. What's your stance on that?
Okay, here's a guy, and people have said, Pettigrew, he's not for the private schools. I went to a private school, so I'm not against private schools. And I would say this, they say, well, the private schools are recruiting. Well, if you're a private school, you need to recruit students. You have to recruit students in order to survive. I'd say there's as much recruiting done in the public schools as the private schools. I do think this, that if you have a private school in an urban area, they're at a better advantage. You put a private school in Grant County, I don't think it would have any effect whatsoever on any of our teams down there. But you put it in a Kenosha, a Milwaukee, a Whitefish Bay, an Eau Claire, and I think that there is an advantage. Do I think those schools cheat? No, I do not. But I think it is an advantage. So it's something that the WIA is going to have to continue to look at, and I think that probably down the road you will see some action on this.
Lastly, if somebody wants to know more about your organization, how can they get a hold of some information about the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association?
Well, they can go on our website, which you put together, and it's probably one of the best websites around where they can, go call me at any time, you know what I mean, and I'll get them out membership. The easiest way would be to go to the website what is it?
WISBCA.org, I believe.
Yeah, you can see, I just got it on my little clicker there, and I have to click on, but yeah, go there, and you have all the information there. You have the membership form, everything that they want.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach, for your time.
Nick, thank you very much.
Tonight's game of the week is brought to you by Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. The WBY Shootout, best basketball this side of March. The Wisconsin Basketball Yearbook, and WizHoops.net. About to begin the third quarter and the second half as we welcome you back inside the Dodgeville High School Gymnasium for the final Mercury Marine High School basketball game of the week of the 2006-07 campaign here on FSN North. Once again being joined by Nicholas Kartos of WizHoops.net. My name is Matt Menzel. And Nicholas, take a look at that first half for Cuba City. It was certainly the Evan Richards show. 17 points, including 5 3-point field goals.
Dodgeville coming out in that 2-3, and they just did not get out on the wing effectively, and Evan Richard was that wing, and he got probably 8 or 9 good looks from 3. Hit 5 of them, had one where they finally got out on him, but they ran past him, and he got all the way to the hoop for a layup. That's really been the story so far. If they come back out in that 2-3, they're really going to need to do a better job covering the wing.
And even with the height advantage for Dodgeville, they've only been able to get 5 points out of Brian Frunhog and Eric Van Dijnhoven to lead the way, followed by 4 points for Holland Pratt. Both of his field goals coming early in the first and second quarters. Getting tripped up was Roundhog off the missed opening possession by the Cubans.
And there you see they were in the man-to-man. They switched it up. Camps was able to get a nice pass to Bonder. He couldn't convert down low.
And the foul goes against Jake Mextroff. That's going to be his second personal. Team foul #1 here in the second half. Nice ball movement. Frunhog knocking down his second 3 of the game. He's got the only 2 3-point makes for the Dodgers.
It's a big start for Dodgeville. Stop on defense and then getting that 3. That's huge.
Cuban still by 5. Timmerman going back to Richard. Timmerman held the 2 points. Off the back iron on that left elbow 15-footer, and the rebound, Frunhog.
Nice pull up there by Timmerman, just back rimmed it.
Frunhog fading, and a traveling violation before the shot attempt. Great pressure defense by Tyler Timmerman.
As we see on defense, Dodgeville in the man-to-man, Nick Phillips, the senior, gets the assignment of guarding Evan Richard, and you got to like to see that, a senior. He doesn't want to lose his senior year with Cuba City. He doesn't want to lose the Cuba City game, so this game definitely means a lot to him.
And the foul for Mike Bondra, who had a very tough first half, converting on a shot similar to that. Able to knock it down here and draw the contact. Now going to the free throw line to complete a traditional 3-point play.
Nice rebound there. I mean, that's 8 points for him tonight, and a ton of offensive rebounds. Regardless of his trouble finishing in that first half, he's been stellar.
And that was the other story of the first half. Second chance opportunities, offensive rebound by Timmerman, following the second foul against Van Dijnhoven. Near takeaway. Richard trying to pick it back up. Great hustle by Nick Phillips. Shot contested. That by Jake Mextroff, who was taking the shot. And the Dodgers draw a Cuban foul.
It's 2 quick ones on Cuba City this half.
6:25 left in the third quarter, a 7-point Cubans advantage. On the drive by Phillips. One hand teardrop not there. And the rebound controlled once again by the Cubans, Mike Bondra. Timmerman. Richard off balance, shot is short. Pickle knocked away. Ball out of bounds. Right back to Cuba City.
Battling down low was Pickle there. He almost got control of it and got a shot off.
Dodgeville, you have to like your chances with the combination of Hole and Pratt, along with Van Dynehoven inside, and they've contested quite a few Cuban low post shots. But unable to rebound. Another bucket and a foul from Mike Vondra. He has 10 points, is the second Cuban in double figures.
He might have a double-double right now just on offensive rebounds and points. Really working down low, doesn't have the height advantage of Van Dynehoven or Pratt, but he's really getting position and doing a nice job.
No, Vondra 6'2", he's listed as their post. Free throw though, both of them have gone wide right, but in both instances, an offensive rebound, and that putback is good for Ben Pickle.
Chuck Tank, and I like what he sees right now. Offensive rebounds, a lot of times it's just hustle, and it seems like Dodgeville's been getting out hustled on a few of those plays.
And do note that Van Dynehoven picked up his third personal foul. Too strong as Matt Haig's 3, but a takeaway. Having to slow it down. Best three-point shooter on the team, shows wide. His third of the ball game, Brian Runhog. He now has 11. He's the first Dodger in double figures, as they call a 30-second timeout with 5:29 left in the third.
Oh, sorry.
Gonna say it's 31-23. Cuba City on top by 8, and that certainly is a big triple to keep the Dodgers' hopes alive.
Absolutely a big shot, but I think Chuck Tank called that timeout to tell his guys to start boxing out on the defensive end. Cuba City getting way too many second chances. To their credit, they're hustling, but he can't be happy with his players not getting position and getting out hustled for some of these rebounds.
It looks like two post players for Dodgeville, very concerned with contesting all of Cuba City's low post shots, but they're in position to try to contest it. Just having that half a second too late to turn around and then get ready to box out and rebound. Tyler Timmerman. Have you been surprised by the fact he's been held to 2 points?
Well, in that first half, he really just tried to set the offense up, and as you say it, he drains that shot. I expect him to look for his offense a little bit more in this man-to-man defense.
Sullivan can't get the bounce. A big rebound put back by Phillips.
Nice board there by Phillips.
That's just his first field goal. He has 3 points, go along with a free throw, making the second. His fire 3 by Richard. Ball knocked out of bounds, but it was last touch. That off the right hand of Danny Sullivan.
As mentioned, Timmerman in the first half, he's running the point, he's trying to run the offense, and it's kind of hard to get a better shot than a wide open 3 on the wing. But now I definitely see him to look for his offense a little bit more here in the third quarter against this man-to-man defense.
Timmerman, nice drive, move to the left. Unable to finish off a shot after faking out Haig. And the Dodgers get a big rebound. Phillips, a long 2. And the rebound controlled by Vondra. 4.5 to play in the third. Richard had it knocked away out of his hands by Phillips after looking for an outlet feed.
Nice play there by the senior.
Runhog, bullet pass down low, but Pratt unable to hang on initially. Runhog driving, flipping, Phillips up strong. He was able to get around the defense of Cody Camps.
Twice in a row, Phillips going strong to the hoop.
That's what I like about Nick Phillips. He's not holding anything back. At 6'1", a senior. Very aggressive to the rack. Not afraid to take contact. Richard. Cubans by 6. Flip her right back to Camps. Cody Camps. Trying to go down low. The ball is knocked out of bounds. Sullivan, once again, may have had a hand on it for the Dodgers.
This great Dodgeville crowd is really getting into the game, too.
This game originally scheduled for a Tuesday, but moved to a Monday with playoffs about to begin. That's not keeping the crowd away as the fadeaway jumper good for Mike Vondra, who has come alive in this third quarter, but that basically was the case in the second as well after a slow beginning of the first. Currently has 12 points.
Big game for the senior thus far.
Pratt. And the third 3 of the third quarter for Brian Runhog. Now is 4 for the contest. He has 14 to lead the Dodgers.
Very talented junior. One of their leading scorers really gets that shot off quick.
35-30 Cubans, and the ball last touched by Timmerman. Unable to hang on after Holencrant reached in to try to swipe it away with 2:57 left in the third.
Big possession here for the Dodgers. Can cut it to 3 or 2 with a three-pointer.
Inside Phillips. Knocked out of his hands by Camps. Going to be whistled for the foul.
Camps is having trouble right now containing Phillips. Mostly just Phillips is making athletic plays, athletic drives and spins to the hoop.
Timeout Cubans. The Dodgers back to within 5 with 2:47 to play in the third. The Dodgeville Dodgers have crept back to within 5 of the Cuba City Cubans, which I gotta believe has excited Chuck Take, who we talked about it, has switched up the defense more to a man-to-man, which has caused some problems for the Cubans.
Absolutely, the zone just wasn't working the way they were playing it. Too many open shots on the perimeter for the Cubans. Switch to that man-to-man, and they've really gotten into the Cubans and have made their work. And the Cubans haven't taken great shots. They've taken some good shots. They haven't worked their offense as much as I would have probably liked to see them run it.
Foul one against Cody Camp right before the break. That was his second team foul, 3, and Phillips is now 2 for 4 in the game from the charity stripe. He has 6 points, 5 of which have come here in the third. 35-31 Cubans. They have pretty much controlled this third quarter, but now here come the Dodgers, thanks to a couple of inside baskets by Phillips and some outside shooting by Runshog. Richard off balance. Going to be a loose ball foul against the Cubans, maybe on Mike Bondra. His first team foul 4.
I like what Coach Pettigrew did there. He did a little bit of a spread, almost like a 4 corners. He knows that Timmerman's a very talented player, as is Richard, and that they probably had the advantage in their matchup on the offensive end and trying to use that to their advantage.
But also give that credit to the Dodgers doing a better job of crashing the boards. Runshog goes for a long 2. That's an air ball. Oh, nice move. A spectacular move by Danny Sullivan, banging it off the suspecting Cuban.
Excellent play by Sullivan.
Boy, it didn't even look like Sullivan had a chance to save it. Boy, Runshog with an air ball, short now, one was too strong. Ben Pickle, unable to hang on to the basketball. Boy, a couple of breaks caught by the Dodgers. See, they can't convert on this, their third try on this possession. We approach 2 minutes left in the third. Sullivan inside of Phillips. Double team. 3 ball. No good out of the hands of Sullivan on that far side. After Matt Haig. One of the Dodgers getting that basketball at the wing.
Nice adjustment there by the Cubans. Nick Phillips has been able to get the ball in the post and score effectively, so they come with the immediate double. Gets it out to for an outside. They could get an outside shot, but probably not one of their primary shooters.
Trying to go back up, Johnson Pickle. He's able to hang on. And now the Dodgers have to get back on defense. Richard nearly draining his 6th 3 of the game. Ball free and finally grabbed by Matt Haig. Runshog pushing. Flip the Pratt in the corner. Sullivan, mid-range baseline jumper, too strong. Phillips a big rebound, but he was pushed as he was bringing down the board. A foul against Cody Camp. That's going to be his 3rd, and already 15 foul against the Cubans.
Nick Phillips is really playing hard right now, really leaving it all on the floor. You know, like I said, these rivalry games, seniors do not want to lose these rivalry games because you'll remember back to your senior year and you'll remember the Cuba City Dodgeville game.
Jamie Tranel back into the Cuban 5, the sports jersey 30. Phillips and Tranel touched it last. That's off his right hand. Exactly 1 minute left in the third quarter. Cuba City, they led by 4 after 1, by 8 after 2. They currently lead by 4 at this juncture, 35-31. Phillips to the hole, can't get the bounce.
Strong move there. Almost finished it, almost got a foul called as well.
Timmerman. His 15-footer. Rebounded by Runshog. Phillips inside. Nice pass to Pratt. He missed the shot short. Tough angle against Ben Pickle after the feed from Van Dijnhoven.
Nice feed by Van Dijnhoven there. Couldn't convert.
And do note that Van Dijnhoven is back out there playing with 3 personal fouls as the final 18 seconds drain off the game clock. Timmerman. 35-31 Cuban.
Look for Timmerman to dribble at Evan Richard here. Nope, pulls up.
Unable to get the bounce. Vondra fighting for the rebound. Ball loose, and that's going to do it for 3/4 of basketball. 35-31 Cuba City. You're watching the Mercury Marine High School Basketball Game of the Week on FSN North. Dodgeville, the Dodger faithful. They've had a lot to cheer about here in this second half as the Dodgers outscored the Cubans 14-10 in the third. Back to within 4 as we start the fourth. Plus, the Dodgers have the ball.
It looked like a whole different team than in that first half. Just a lot more effort. Let the Cubans get a few easy offensive rebounds early, but after that timeout by Coach Tank, they really came out and played hard.
Not sure that's the shot that Coach Tank wanted his offense to take. Matt Haig launching that 3. Inside Vondra with the left hand. He can't get the bounce. Hop, skip, and a bounce over the rim. And the rebound controlled by the Dodgers.
Trying to get that 4th foul on Van Dijnhoven.
Run hog, baseline, applied by Pratt.
Baseline sometimes can be a dangerous place to go if you're a dribbler. Unless you can turn the corner and get around your guy, there's not a lot of options to do with to go with the ball.
Now, certainly this has been a very exciting ball game, but both teams have found themselves in some mini droughts in each quarter. We find ourselves in one right now. Both teams struggling toward the end of the third, and now here to start the fourth.
Yeah, it appears it's, I'm pretty sure it's been 35-31 for the past at least 4 minutes of game clock.
Everett Richard has cooled off significantly since the first half. He put up 17. He's yet to score. He's missed a couple of threes since halftime after draining 5 in the opening 16 minutes. Nice dish. Pratt rainbows the shot and the rebound controlled by the Cubans. Tranel.
Again, attacking Van Dijnhoven.
Boy, oh boy. Another rainbow of a shot on the other end. Vondra was trying to get something going offensively. And steady. Loose ball foul going against Richard, his second. Team foul 6, so free throws, as it seems like every game of the week, again, may play a factor here down the stretch.
Oh,
Phillips
nice block there. Nice athletic play there, that Richard, the freshman.
Pratt using the cross, and he still can't get the bounce.
There's a lid on both baskets right now, I tell you what.
Timmerman. Short. Van Dijnhoven the rebound. Great pressure by Timmerman, and Dodgeville will try to slow it down. We have played 2 minutes of scoreless fourth quarter basketball. Somebody is bound to score.
We think.
We hope. Run hog. That's not going to get the job done. Bodies flying every which direction. Bullet pass, Pickle. Pickle, nice spin move. He uses the glass and banks it in. 4 points for Ben Pickle.
Quite a battle down low there on defensive end for the Cubans. They come away with it, and a touchdown pass to Pickle. Nice little spin move. We even call that a dipsy-do?
If that's what you want to call it, be my guest. Van Dijnhoven can't hang out on the rebound, controlled by Tranel. A big opportunity here for the Cubans, but Pickle out of his range, although I guess not really out of his range because he overshot that one. Phillips draws the block down low. Free throws will be assessed. Jamie Tranel picking up his second. Phillips for a 1-and-1. He is 2 for 4 from the charity stripe in the game.
Pickle has not been able to find his outside stroke yet this game.
Team foul 7. And a break in the action. A 30-second timeout being taken by the Dodgeville Dodgers. Two very big free throw potential opportunities for Nick Phillips. And held to 6 points, including 5 in that second quarter. And for Cuba City, kind of been a second half that belonged to Mike Vondra after Richard controlled the first half.
Yeah, Vondra's been coming up huge for them, I think, in both halves, especially on the offensive rebounding end. He's been getting his share of defensive rebounding. You know, and that's the kind of play that Cuba City's going to need out of their post players. Looking ahead to the postseason, you know, Coach Pettigrew said it, they're undersized. They only have, you know, 6'2", 6'3" is their post players, so they need them to play bigger. You know, and the ways you can play bigger is by getting good position on defense, getting good position on offense, and really attacking the glass.
Speaking of the playoffs, Cuba City will take on Belleville, Dodgeville. Look for the upset, a number 5 seed against number 4, McFarland. Tend to see that 5 against 4 upset on a fairly regular basis. Phillips knocking down the first free throw. Apparently for both teams, a challenging road to the Kohl Center. In Division 2 and 3 respectively. Phillips drains both free throws for the first time in his third trip to the line. He has 8 points. Back to a 4-point Cuba City lead with 3 minutes gone by in the fourth.
Dodgeville showing a little bit of token pressure there. Worked to their advantage because Tyler Timmerman was not the one bringing the ball up, and I'm sure that's how Coach Pettigrew wants his offense started.
Richard draws the foul, but it's on the floor. Only the third team foul against the Dodgers, who've done a pretty good job defensively throughout this second half. Could be the second against Phillips. Now a 30-second timeout being taken by the Cubans with 4:48 left in the fourth, 37-33. Cuba City currently on top. Well, Nicholas, we talked about it. This is our final Mercury Marine High School basketball game of the week in 2006-07. What are some of the things you take away from our game of the week package? Some of your thoughts as the playoffs vastly approach?
Well, you know, what I'm happy with is not only were we able to cover a lot of different games, a lot of different schools, divisions, areas of the state in our game itself, but we had so many teams on at the halftime highlights. And we had a lot of great games. You know, the North Fond du Lac girls game comes to mind with that 60-footer at the end to win it. We saw some of the better teams in the state. Oshkosh West at that Division I level. Milwaukee Bradley Tech was a good game.
We saw quite a few games decided by 4 points or less. Richard, though, trying not to make this one of them. Knocks down the three. He's got 20 points with his 6th triple.
We saw in the first half, he kind of ran cold and hot. So let's see if he can hit a few more in a row here.
Phillips, knowing that this is a big possession, down 7. Matt Haig, Platt. Phillips again looking to drive. Nice dish to Pratt, off the glass. That is great aggressiveness by Phillips, who took a couple of hits from the Cubans' defense, finding the feed to the open Folin Pratt on the weak side for his 5th and 6th points.
They're really letting him play in the lane, and nice dish there by Phillips. Pratt finally got one to fall.
Pickle contested after Timmerman missed his shots. Run hog fades. Phillips, the big rebound. Back up strong, he mistimed his jump. Matt Haig in the offense will reset, or at least they were thinking about it, but Van Dijnhoven had the path. 7 points. It's a 3-point game at 40-37 with 3.5 to play. Richard misfires. Rebound, Phillips, and Dodgeville with some momentum.
There's a quick shot there by the Cubans. Dodgeville now a chance to either pull with one or tie.
And Van Dijnhoven draws the foul, free throws to be assessed. It's the 3rd against Richard. Team foul 8.
Richard with a tough assignment guarding the 6'5" Van Dijnhoven.
It's been a fun player to watch. Van Dijnhoven, 7 points. Unable to knock down the free throw, and the rebound again brought down by Vondra, who passed to himself after some miscommunication.
You know, both Van Dijnhoven and Pratt, just juniors, along with Rundhog. Nice little team, nice little nucleus coming back next year.
I think it's fair to say it's Timmerman time as he banks it in for his 5th and 6th points. putting the Cubans back up by 5.
It was a nice shot by Timmerman, and he won't shy away from shooting down the stretch. He's had a few go out in this third and fourth quarter, but
Grant rattling in a mid-range baseline jumper. Boy, he can do a little bit of everything. Attack the glass, hit from medium range. 3-point game once again with 2.5 to play. Cuba City on top. They've led throughout. Vondra, Van Hoven on defense. Timmerman looking inside. Pickle trying to post up. Timmerman down the middle. He had it knocked away, but it's put back up and in by Mike Vondra.
big offensive rebound by Vondra after a nice block there by Pratt on Timmerman.
And back to 5 goes the Cuban advantage. Vondra has 11 points from the second quarter on after scoring the pair in the first. Phillips can't get the bounce, and the rebound nearly going out of bounds, but Richard able to save it into the hands of Tranel. Pickle blocked by Pratt. Pickle's second effort off the side of the backboard. He draws the contact and the foul against the double team, but the Dodgers put down low.
I was just about to say that Cuba City needs to hold for a good shot, and I don't know if I agree with that shot, but he got lucky there getting it blocked. He didn't get lucky getting it blocked, but he got it right back after it was blocked and took it right into the land of trees and drew a foul.
Matt Haig picking up his first team foul 4. Pickle, a great opportunity to make this a tough deficit for the Dodgers to come back from. He has upped the advantage to 6, certainly a 2-possession lead. Trying to make it 3, and that would involve Dodgeville consistently making their shots, but also consistently playing defense and boxing out. And we saw a couple of seconds ago down 7, making quite the run and get back to within 3, snap of the finger.
And they have a lot of guys on their team that can shoot that 3-point shot, so this is a 6-point lead could go away just like that.
It's up to 7 with that free throw make, 46-39. Sullivan. Run Hog wants that 3, but certainly the Cubans not giving him any space. Ball popping free, but Run Hog able to track it down after Mike Haig unable to hang on. Inside, Phillips. Rebound brought down by Vondra. Now Vondra is fouled. Still not a free throw shooting situation. That's only team foul 5 against the Dodgers. It may become time to start fouling on a consistent basis to get yourself in that bonus situation.
I think Dodgeville just simply took too much time on that possession to get a decent shot.
You're right, 31 seconds elapsing off the game clock. Third foul against Holden Pratt. Timmerman.
Nice little step back dribble there by Timmerman. Not sure about that shot.
Oh my goodness!
And of course it goes in.
Ben Pickle has not been able to hit any part of the rim from downtown all game long, and he nails it in the stretch run to put his team up by 10. Their largest lead of the game, which is quickly down to 8. Richard can't get the bounce. Ball on the ground, picked up by the Dodgers. 40 seconds to play.
Cuba City looks like they're the team that's down 8 and trying to shoot fast.
Ron Hogg for 3-0 in the rebound. Vondra lost it. Kick it out. Ron Hogg at 3. Got it with Pickle back on the other end. And not sure what was going on. A full timeout being taken with 26.4 seconds left. And Dodgeville creeping back in thanks to a 3 by Ron Hogg.
Cuba City, 2 quick shots. Obviously the 3 by Pickle went in. But that drive there by Richard might have been a little bit ill-advised considering the game situation.
26.4 seconds left in this fourth. Fixing the scoreboard right now because I think the scoreboard operator here got a little excited, hit the wrong button when Ron Hogg hit the 3, gave it to Cuba City. It's 49-44. Back in Dodgeville just a couple of seconds ago, the Dodgers down 10. They're now down 5. Stranger things have happened in shorter amount of time. We have 26.4 seconds left. Timmerman, somebody lost their assignment, and Ron Hogg pick up the foul.
Cuba City sending 2 guys deep there. Dodgeville had to make sure they were covering that, and Timmerman snuck free. And that's who you're going to want on the line, I think, here is Tyler Timmerman, your senior.
Runhogs first, only team foul 6, and again somebody missed their assignment. Richard is knocked down to the ground by Kendrick Eggers. Not the greatest ball pressure on the inbound for the Dodgers, who kept losing their assignments. And free throws will be assessed for Evan Richard. This will be a 1-and-1 with 22.9 seconds left.
Let's see if the freshman can knock a couple down here.
Richard with 21, but that's a solid performance, but only 4 points in the second half.
Yeah, he got a lot of opportunities against that zone. That man-to-man, Nick Phillips did a nice job covering him in the second half.
3-possession game. Sullivan missing the 3, and surprise, surprise, Vondra with the rebound. And this game is all but said and done with 14.6 seconds left.
It's just a boatload of rebounds for Vondra tonight. Really working overtime down low on that low block.
This might be one of those games, once again, that goes in the what-if column for Dodgeville, playing close, and many of their 8 losses. Maybe a couple more box outs and defensive stops. Find yourself either ahead or with a chance to win it down the stretch.
Vondra again gets that last rebound. That's very fitting. And the Cubans up their record to 18-1, win a game on a tough location at Dodgeville.
51-44, Cuba City. Back with more on the Mercury Marine High School Basketball Game of the Week on FSN North. Back in Dodgeville, once again, the final score 51-44. The Cuba City Cubans beating the Dodgeville Dodgers to up the record to 18-1 with their 12th consecutive victory. One of the big reasons why this team was able to hang on and beat the Dodgers, the play of Mike Vondra, 14 points, including 8 in the second half, and a plethora of offensive and defensive rebounds. He's standing by with our Nicholas Cartos.
I'm here with Mike Vondra, our player of the game for Cuba City. Mike, how big of a win is it coming into Dodgeville your senior year?
It was huge. We are going into the tournament soon, and we were just looking for a big win before we got in there, trying to keep our win streak going.
Coach Pettigrew mentioned in the open that you guys are undersized.
Yep.
You're looking to you to control the paint tonight. 6'5", 265 guys on the front line for Dodgeville. What did you do to try to get all those offensive and defensive rebounds?
Well, I knew that I had to box out and get those weak side boards, and I got them.
Looking ahead to the playoffs, as you mentioned, what do you feel like the Cubans have to do to have a successful run in March?
We know that Timmerman and Richard can score, but I think we need to get a little inside game like we had tonight, and we'll do fine.
Well, good luck to the rest of the way, Mike. Nice job tonight.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Nicholas. Once again, Vondra, our player of the game for Cuba City. And for Dodgeville, the honors go to Brian Runhog, who finished with 19 points, knocking down a number of threes, and finished with 14 second-half points to lead the Dodgers in a comeback effort. Again, the final score, 51-44, Cuba City to go to 18-1 as Dodgeville drops to 10-9. Special thanks to my partner, Nicholas Cartos, for a great season of basketball. So glad to be able to bring the action to you. Our entire crew, Matt Menzel, saying so long and good night from Dodgeville. You've been watching the Mercury Marine High School Basketball Game of the Week all season long on FSN North.